Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Paul. Hopefully you're having an amazing day. If you're in the market to upgrade your graphics card, then over the next few months you're certainly going to be spoilt for choice. RDNA 4, also known as the RX 8000 series, as well as Nvidia's RTX 50 series of graphics cards, powered of course by the Blackwell architecture, are expected to be announced at CES and basically start to release after the announcement, of course, the months following that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what AMD and Nvidia's strategies are. It seems that Nvidia, of course, are going to release the RTX 5090 and 5080 first, but shortly thereafter, the 5070 will come to the market. So the pricing of those cards will be nothing short of intriguing to look at. But there's also another player, and that, of course, is Intel. Now, the initial architecture that Intel released when it came to discrete GPUs is, of course, Alchemist, and cards like the A750 and A770 were showing a lot of promise potentially in terms of their architecture. Unfortunately, the market reception was somewhat lukewarm. Primarily, I think initially, this is simply because the drivers had some problems. DirectX 9 and other legacy titles, they didn't run quite right. But to be fair to Intel, a lot has changed since the debut of those GPUs, and now, of course, we're all waiting for Battlemage. Now, Battlemage, I did leak some of the architecture stuff, and it seems there's going to be a plethora of improvements, new cache system, there's going to be much improvements in ray tracing, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, the big question is when they're going to release. I did also leak a roadmap, but if you look at the dates here, well, I think we can all agree it's slightly past that. Speaking to some people, it seems that there has been some changes in Intel's plans. Potentially, some of the GPUs that were being initially decided to release, they basically got scrapped and tweaked. And so now we're getting G21 and G31. As for the performance targets, there's been a lot of leaks about that as well. And roughly speaking, it seems we're going to see performance around RTX 4070 to maybe 4080. However, that's with an asterisk. One, is that compute, or is that raster, or is that perhaps ray tracing, and so on and so forth. And the second point is, will they even match those leaks, or perhaps even beat those leaks? So it's going to be very interesting to see how Intel manages to actually release these GPUs, but allegedly they're looking quite promising. And this is courtesy of some information that's popped up on Weibo with a forum user by the name of Golden Pig Upgrade. Now, they've had a really good track record in the past, and they are stating that something is going to be happening in December, and allegedly it does look quite promising. Now, interestingly, Computer Base, I want to give credit to videocards.com, by the way, for this. Computer Base in April actually states that, well, potentially Intel will be doing something with Battlemage, but it's probably going to be just before the Black Friday season, so around 3-ish weeks from now, which I'm sure you'll agree is pretty much the same time frame as what Golden Pig Upgrade is hinting. Now, the question is, what exactly are we going to be seeing? Because it could just simply be some type of teaser, maybe some type of performance shown off, maybe some demo, or it could be that you can literally just buy the card. Now, I have spoken to a few sources about this, and I can't get a full answer. Basically, I was told that it may only be the lower end models, which could be the B570 and the 580, but the source didn't seem to be 100% certain. So I would not take that to the bank. By the way, if you're wondering why it's B this time around, it's pretty simple. A for Alchemist, so you would have like the A, let's say 750 or whatever, and then this time around it's B, so of course you've got the B570 as I just mentioned, and presumably you're going to get higher models released later on. It's going to be very interesting though to see what the marketing around this is like, particularly given, well, the future of Intel's GPUs it seems very uncertain at the moment. There are some who swear that Celestial has been cancelled. I've spoken to numerous people about this. The last I heard, initially it was no, Celestial is fine. We're still going to be getting the gaming variants of it. However, Druid onwards is very uncertain. But more recently, I don't know. I was told by one person that Celestial is kind of not... Basically, the best way I can describe it is Celestial is alive in name, but there could be some significant changes. Unfortunately, I can't find out what those changes are right now. I asked, does that mean that it's only going to be for iGPUs? And I was told no. So maybe it's only going to be for server or compute-based stuff. It's really hard to know at this point. I think Intel perhaps just haven't made a full decision about this. It's probably going to depend extensively how Battlemage does in the market. My big problem is AMD and Nvidia are really entrenched at this point. It's going to be very interesting to see the prices of the RX 8000 series as well as RTX 50. The 5090, of course, is going to be the fastest card, presumably on the market by a good chunk, but the mid-range, there is a lot of room there for Intel, theoretically, to compete. But as always with this stuff, it's not just like, how good are the specs? How good are your drivers? What's your support like? Just, there's so much stuff that goes into a graphics card, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the market actually responds to Intel. Now, I do also want to talk to you guys about just a little thing regarding the next generation Ryzen processors. Despite the fact that the 9800X3D has only officially launched, although good luck trying to get one right now because, well, demand is definitely outstripping supply. Some of the scalping prices are just absolutely ridiculous, but that's beside the point. Of course, the progress never stops. So I just want to give you guys a quick update about this because Kepler L2 on Twitter has basically stated that yes, Zen 6 is still going to be on the AM5 platform. We've discussed this a few times on the channel before, and really, it just makes sense. My sources have told me that same thing. It also looks, at least according to Kepler's information, that we're going to be seeing these CPUs, excuse me, I was about to say GPUs, these CPUs launch in late 2026 to early 2027. Of course, Medusa, which is the code name, is also going to feature some significant changes to the IOD and some other things as well. I'm trying to find out a little bit of extra information right now regarding Zen 6 because I've been hearing some really conflicting things regarding, well, let's just say multiple things for Intel and AMD's future processors. So I actually meant to do a video about this like 2 days ago, but then I just got told something completely different by someone else. I'm just like, helpful. It's going to be very interesting to see how the market actually responds at CES because you've got the 9950 X3D. I have to say, at least in my personal opinion, let me know if you guys feel differently, but the 9800X3D, holy crap. Just looking at benchmarks of that thing, I'm impressed. Like, it's really good. And it does show that some workloads for Zen 5 are really bandwidth starved. So I will be super interested to see if the rumours are true regarding Zen 6, and you've got this new IOD and all that other stuff that we discussed before, are true. It's going to be very interesting to see just what this architecture is actually capable of. But yeah, I think one of the best decisions, honestly, that AMD have made, yeah, I would probably say one of the absolute best decisions they've made is actually releasing the Vcache variants for desktop. Because those things are just ridiculous. Like, even an AM4 CPU, you know, like the 5000 series, assuming you've got a decent rig, I mean, yes, obviously, you know, some games are going to be CPU bound, like, you know, if you're running an RTX 4090 at, like, 1080p or something, obviously you're going to have problems with being CPU bound. But for a lot of people, if you're pairing it with the right graphics card, the 5700 or 5800 X3D, you know, it's just still such a good CPU. It's really impressive what the Vcache technology can do. And obviously with the changes they've made with the IOD, you know, the reversing of the stacking, you know, we're seeing the CPU, admittedly, of course, it's not like they're just using a standard AIO, excuse me, but it's in like, what was it, 7.2 gigahertz or something like that for a record overclock, which is, damn, that's pretty impressive. With that said, take care of yourselves, guys. Bye for now.